Welcome Form 4 at Maths Past Years SBP. Topic Coordinate Geometry. Given the straight line x over 3 plus y over 2 equals 1 intersects the x-axis at point S and intersect the y-axis at point T. So first of all, we have to draw the diagram. So I'm drawing the y-axis and the x-axis, and then I draw the straight line. It intersects the x-axis at point S over here, the x-axis at point S, and then it intersects the y-axis at point T. Now if you notice the equation given, x over 3 plus y over 2 1, is actually the intercept form. It is intercept form, whereby in intercept form, x over a plus y over b when equals 1, the a is the x-intercept and the b is the y-intercept. So given our equation x over 3 plus y over 2 equals 1, the 3 must be the x-intercept. Over here, 3 is the x-intercept, and the 2 is the y-intercept. The 2 is the y-intercept. And another thing, the point S in x-axis, therefore the y-coordinate is 0. So the x-coordinate is 3, 0. The point S in the x-axis, the y-coordinate is 0. And the point T in the y-axis, the x-coordinate is 0. So now we have that the point T coordinate 0, 2, the point S coordinate 3, 0. The 3 came from the x-intercept and the 2 came from the y-intercept. We look at the question. Find the equation of the perpendicular bisector of ST. Okay, that's what the question asking. Find equation of perpendicular bisector. From our notes, to find equation of a straight line, we need the gradient of the line and a point on the line. Therefore, to find equation of perpendicular bisector, we need the gradient of the perpendicular bisector. I'm using the short form PB, perpendicular bisector, and we need a point on that perpendicular bisector, which must be the midpoint. So going back to the graph, this is our line ST. So our perpendicular bisector, which I've drawn here, it is bisector. That means it must have a midpoint and perpendicular 90 degrees. So don't forget, perpendicular 90 degrees, bisector, this length and this length is same. So this point must be the midpoint. So now to find the equation of the perpendicular bisector, we need the gradient of the bisector and a point on that bisector, which is the midpoint. I label x, m, y, m. We do one by one. Now to find the gradient of the bisector, remember that the bisector is perpendicular to the line ST. The bisector is perpendicular to the line ST. And we already learned from the notes, when two lines are perpendicular, the gradient of one line negative 1 over gradient of the other line. So here, the gradient of the perpendicular bisector is negative 1 over gradient of ST. So now, to find gradient of perpendicular bisector, we need gradient of ST. Gradient, we use the formula gradient. Y minus y over x minus x. It is gradient ST. So ys minus yt over xs minus xt. And I've rewritten the coordinates of s and t, so easy for us. Ys, yt. So ys would be 0, yt is 2. So 0 minus 2. Xs minus xt, that is 3 minus 0. So we will get the gradient of st negative 2 over 3. Remember, we want to find gradient of perpendicular bisector, which is negative 1 over gradient of st. I substitute the gradient of st. So now it is negative 1 over gradient of st, which is negative 2 over 3. Bring the fraction down up. Down fraction, bring it up. You inverse it, 3 over 2. And of course, negative and negative has become positive. So we finally got gradient of perpendicular bisector 3 over 2. Only left now the point, the midpoint M. Use the formula, the x coordinate of midpoint, xs plus xt over 2. The x coordinate of s, x coordinate of t is over here. X coordinate of s is 3. X coordinate of t is 0. Therefore, x coordinate of m, 3 plus 0 over 2. We got x coordinate 3 over 2. Repeat for y coordinate of midpoint, ys plus yt divided by 2. Again, the ys 0, yt 2. So 0 plus 2 over 2, which we get y coordinate of midpoint is 1. So our midpoint 3 over 2 and 1. Next, we want to find the equation, the formula for straight line equation, y minus y1 equals to m, x minus x1. Of course, the y1 and x1 now will be the midpoint ym, xm, and the gradient would be the gradient of the midpoint. We just substitute. We're just going to substitute. So y, put back y. Ym is 1 minus 1. The gradient 3 over 2. I substitute 3 over 2. X minus the xm is 3 over 2. 3 over 2. So what I do next, either one fraction, so these two on the right hand side I transfer 2 brackets y minus 1, right hand side 3 brackets x minus 3 over 2. I expand everything, 2 times y, 2 times 1, I get 2y minus y. 3 times x, 3 times 3 over 2. I'm going to get 3x minus 9 over 2. I do one fraction. So each term, I'm going to times by 2. So now I will get 2y times 2, I get 4y. 2 times 2, I get 4. 3x times 2, I'm going to get 6x. And 9 over 2 times 2, the 2 will cancel, I get 9. So finally, I have 4y minus 4 equals 6x minus 9. I transfer everything, 4y, 6x I transfer, I get negative 6x minus 4 plus 9 equals 0. So now, our final answer is 4y minus 6x minus 4 plus 9 is 5, equals to 0. So our answer is 4y minus 6x plus 5 equals 0. Thank you. I see you on the next lesson.